Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a huge fan of that TV show Shetland. Love it. Watched every episode of it, including the last season where Jimmy Perez is out of it and the new detective is in it. But the one thing is, I've never read a book by Ann Cleeves. For whatever reason, they just passed me by. So I decided I would try one, and the book I picked up is a book called Thin Air. Thin Air. And I think it's the fifth or sixth, something like that, in the 8-book Shetland series that she wrote. The plot is fundamentally a group of 6 people come to Shetland, to some little island in Shetland. There are 3 couples. One of the couples just got married, and they're going back to Shetland for the, I guess it's the husband's family, where they'll have a kind of a special celebration called a Heimfaring in Shetland. Well, what happens is that of the 3 couples, one woman is found murdered. And of course, that's the mystery. And, Jimmy Perez sets out to solve this mystery. Now, along the way, there's another murder committed, which further complicates the story. I'm not going to give away what happens in this thing. I'm not going to spoil the book. Anyway, the way Ann Cleeves writes this book, you get a lot of background on each and every one of the characters, and she does it in an extremely interesting way as far as I'm concerned. And in particular, you get a lot of background on Jimmy Perez, the star of the TV show, and he's really the star of this book series. The story takes place about a year after Fran died. He and Duncan are raising, jointly, I guess, raising the daughter Cassie. Excuse me. And you really get deep into Jimmy Perez. And as well, you get a lot of insight into these other characters that are in it. The other couples in this group of 6. You get a lot of background on a lot of the people who live in Shetland. Now, I got to say, the plot is a little convoluted because Ann Cleeves gets into some very complicated family relationships and legends and things like that really reach back in time for Shetland. Now, the one major difference, and the one that jumped right out at me, is that Tosh is not in this book. And I think Tosh is a great character in the TV series. She's not in the book. Instead, there's a woman that you don't see in the TV series, I don't think you do, who is Perez's boss, Willow Reeves. Now, evidently, Tosh was invented by the people who put together the TV show, and I think it was an absolutely great invention. And you'll notice if you watch the show, it says that it's based on characters written by Ann Cleeves. Well, to me, this book was terrific. I mean, it's a kind of a standard British mystery. There's a handful of suspects. It takes place in a kind of a remote place. There are plenty of red herrings in the plot. And as you go through the book, you end up having to reevaluate where you think this thing is going and who you think the bad guy is. An excellent book. Now, I've got to say that while I was reading it, all the scenery that you see in the Shetland TV series comes immediately to your mind because Ann Cleeves paints word pictures of the same things. And also, I found that Shetland theme music kind of running through my mind while I was reading it. So I got to say this: if you check any of these boxes, you'll probably like this book. You like British mysteries. You like cozy mysteries. You like the TV show Shetland. You're a big fan of Jimmy Perez. I think you will enjoy this book. I'm really happy to recommend it. And I know for a fact I will read more Ann Cleeves books. But I got started with this one, Thin Air. Definitely recommend it. Good choice. That's it for this week. All I've got. See you next week.